Thank you for joining us for this insightful leadership talk. My name is Livia, and I'm excited to be your host for today's insightful talk on professional networking and relationship building. In today's world, building and nurturing professional networking is more important than ever. Whether you're a seasoned executive or just building on your career, it's always a good practice for you to master the art of professional networking in your area of communication, let me say. And therefore, before we start into our discussion for today, let me brief you small on what we are going to discuss about. First of all, we are going to explore the importance of professional networking in the field of work. And secondly, we shall also go deep into the practical skills or the strategies applied when initiating and nurturing and also maintaining the professional networking relationship in the field of work. Then after that, we shall also dive into the value of empathy at our places of work and how do you connect it with good work skills. Then after that, we shall go forward and also look at some of the challenges which the people are experiencing as they're networking with their fellows, and what approaches can you apply when you're tackling that challenge. Joining us today is our beautiful guest, that is Miss Ruth Chitamirike. She served as a guild representative counselor at School of Business, that is in Makerere University, and also she served in different positions which shall get to know, and she'll brief us more about it. Miss Ruth, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here at Vijana Core. I learned that it's Core.
Yes.
Once again, my name is Ruth Chitamirike. I am a lawyer by training. I have previously served as the Guild Representative Counselor for the School of Law at Makerere and Guild Minister for Gender. I am currently doing my PhD, still at Makerere University, and I am very happy to join you for this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruth. I hope our audience have heard something brief from our dear guest. Today we are going to talk about some of the areas which we want to learn from. That is, what are the key roles played in networking as you are trying to build your professional network?
First of all, I think the conversation on professional networking is very important and is very timely. Firstly, because networking, especially for us as young people, plays a major role in helping us grow both our career journeys, academic journeys, but even personal journeys as people. What are the roles of networking? What are the roles of professional networking? Let me share an experience I've had. I had the privilege of joining these spaces at the age of 18. And the very first networking space I joined was a women feminist space. And that was at the African Women Leadership Institute with the Awili. And while at the Awili, I was exposed to very many different women, different other people who are doing many different things. And that, for me, I consider as the very first networking opportunity I've had in this adult career life. And from learning how to write your CV, to learning how to introduce yourself, to presenting yourself. When it gets to the personal life, you learn what different other women are doing in terms of self-care, what they are doing to make themselves more efficient, especially in the career work. So professional networking not only builds your career, but it also does a lot to even your personal life. But as you may realize, when your personal life is in order, it somehow contributes to the efficiency and your effectiveness in your career life. But also, networking gives you the opportunity to learn, to grow more knowledge, especially as young people. We have very many ambitions, we have very many dreams in our hearts. But when you step out and connect with other people, you somehow find yourself in the grand scheme of events. Okay. If you're in a space that is talking about women, you will find your role. If you're in a space that is talking about young people, you somehow find where you fit in. And this you will not get when you stay in your room, but you'll have an opportunity to get that when you step out and meet other people. So I would go on and on on the roads of networking, but I think it's a holistic experience and it gives you the exposure to, most importantly, find yourself.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing all those insights. You've talked of working with different women, so could you share with me some of the approaches which you use when you are networking with those people, and how hard did you find it the first time when you approached them?
When I approached them, yes. A bit of myself is I have grown up as a very shy person.
Okay.
So to shy people out there, please, I'm one of you. So being very shy,
Yes.
we're not very comfortable taking the first step. We are not the kinds of people who will reach out to someone. Oh yes, I like her, I think she talks well. Yes. Maybe we could be friends. We usually admire from a distance. But one thing I learned, and I thank my very first mentor, Eunice Musime, because her and I have very many personality similarities. She also says of how she was a shy person, and she always told me that you have to weigh the cost of you stepped out of your room. Would you rather go to this event and keep around the people you know, or you would go and try meeting another person? So what do you do as you're approaching them? Is there a 5 steps? No, I don't think I can provide 5 guidelines right now. Okay. But key to it is be yourself. Be yourself. Yes. If you are of a calm demeanor, don't try to put off a very energetic personality as you're approaching people, because you realize what determines the effectiveness of a networking, what determines the effectiveness of the networking process is your ability to further that conversation. Can we continue this conversation? Can we engage beyond this event that we have met at? So you can only be able to effectively continue that conversation if you presented yourself as the authentic self. Okay. So don't try to put on a plastic personality, please. Stay yourself, and people will receive you for who you are. And the person you present is the person everyone will keep interacting with. Okay. But also, it's important that you cultivate listening skills, especially for us as young people. Usually, say if you're networking amongst your peers, or if you're networking with older people, it's important that you give a listening ear. When you listen, when you show a person that you're listening, and then they'll have the morale to engage more with you. They'll feel, people want to feel valued. And listening to someone is one of the ways you can show them that I value what you're telling me. So many times people will stay in touch with you for as long as they felt valued the first time they met with you. So be yourself, weigh the benefits of reaching out to a new person or staying in your corner if you're a shy person, but also don't lose yourself, stay in your personality, but most importantly, be a good listener. Show them that I value what you are telling me, and this is why I think we need to create a certain rapport or a certain relationship, and this is why I'm here for networking with you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I think I've picked something very nice from that. Could you please share more about this statement where you say that you can sit in your corner? For instance, when I have something which I want to gain more skills, what should I do when I'm seated in my corner? No one is coming to me to ask me what is happening. How will I get to be exposed to some things which I'm not sure about?
That's a hard one. Another experience, before going back to school, I was working with the Austrian embassy, and the shy person has not left me entirely, though improvements have happened here and there. Okay. But I had, my supervisor understood me very well. And every day as we were going out for events, she made sure I carried my business cards. And every after an event, she made sure to ask me, who did you network with? Did you give them your business card? Yes. Did they give you their business cards? And after some time she will, when you say, I talked to this person, she will follow up on you and find out, have you interacted with them? Did you have a follow-up conversation with them? Okay. So there are very many benefits of networking. Yes. Another benefit, maybe if I could go back before I continue with this, is when you reach out to people, first of all, you're improving yourself, but also as young people growing in a career, it gives you an upper hand in your career relations other than other people. Say, for example, if you have been at very many networking events, if you have met very many people, if you have built quite a number of relations with people, every time they're in a meeting and they're saying, we need to invite someone working in civil space, we need to invite someone working with young people, we need to invite someone working with women, we need to invite someone who knows about youths in northern Uganda, because you have been more exposed, not entirely, but because you have networked a bit more, you will always be the efficient employee who knows someone, who knows someone, who knows someone, who knows something about everything. So the benefits go beyond. So I encourage you, when you go to an event, at least make it a point. I go to a place, these days when I step out of my house and I'm going for an event, I make sure that at least I speak to one person or two as a deliberate point. Yes. And be sure to follow them up, okay? It is not enough that you have 1 million CEOs in your phone book, but who of those CEOs that you have in your phone book can reach out to you if they see an opportunity, can refer you, or would want to work with you if they saw something that they could work on with. So networking is about selling your brand, and you have a big brand. If you're a person with big dreams, those dreams are not put in you just so you could sit on them. So embrace networking. Every time you step out, make sure you sell your brand to someone, but sometimes you don't have to sell it by speaking a lot about yourself. Sometimes even listening to someone is a way to sell your brand.
Okay, that's nice. I've been able to pick some information. And then in this today's world, there's this thing that in this digital age, there's more of people who prefer online networking compared to traditional face-to-face meeting. Yeah. So according to you, how do you see it? Like, can you elaborate more about it? Yes.
Social media is interesting. Yes. The digital world, as you've said, presents us very many opportunities. But also it gives you an opportunity to learn people a bit more. Yeah. Because say if I saw Sylvia on LinkedIn, I have the opportunity to go through Sylvia's profile. I have the opportunity to go on Google and Google about Sylvia. Okay. So by the time I send Sylvia a message, I already know what she is doing, what she is working in, and I already have a structure, sort of a structure for the conversation I'm going to be having with Sylvia. Mm. So in my opinion, I think while face-to-face networking is good, I think digital platforms even give us a much better opportunity for networking. Okay. One, because you approach people from a more informed point of view, but also if it gives you an opportunity to channel out your path more clearly. If you're interested in issues of social justice, social media gives you an opportunity to go and look out for all the actors in social justice and go out and connect to them, follow them, you know, retweet, like, comment on whatever they are doing. And social media, I think, even for the shy people, actually shy people should embrace social media even more. Because here, all you need is to put yourself together, write your clean English and say, my name is this and this. I saw your profile about this. I am currently doing this, and I would like to connect with you. Would you have some more time so we can further this conversation? I said that in detail because part of digital networking is the skill that we need to learn how to write messages, okay? Mm. When you see someone you like on Twitter, don't just say, hi, hello, how are you? No, that is going to paint a different image. If we are talking about professional networking, kindly keep it professional, okay? when you find someone you think you're admiring and you find someone you think you would love to connect with a bit deeper, be elaborate about who you are, what you are doing, why you're reaching out to them, why you think this network would work. And for young people, many times it's not about the taking, it's not about what you're taking from them, okay? Because many times we are looking for jobs, we are looking for scholarship opportunities, we have a relative who wants a job. Sometimes networks, the give and take, sometimes it is in you seeing the vision of this person. If someone is working with Vijana Corp, you understand that they are interested in young people. Find something you can do with young people ahead of time or along the way of your relating, so that it's not just you benefiting, but in a way you contribute to their vision. That is how effective networks work. It's not just one-ended, but both sides must benefit to, contribute and benefit from this relationship.
Okay, that's wonderful. I've learned a lot from that point. But there's also this point whereby sometimes when you base on online networking, you may not achieve all the information you want the way you expect it to be. So how can you overcome that challenge?
The thing is, online digital platforms, online networks give us an opportunity to start, okay? Consider it as a starting point. That is why my previous point was find something you are doing or have something you can do to make sure that you contribute to this relationship building, okay? We're looking at networks as something that lead to professional relationships. So if someone is interested in young people, how do you fit in? If you're also interested in young people, say you reached out to them because you have a passion for teenage mothers and you see the work they are doing, let them know the work, let them know that you are passionate about this thing. Maybe you are writing, ask them, how can I be of help? Say if you're a young person and you don't have a job, it's okay. Find out from them, how can I be of help? When you stay in their circles, but also how you are staying matters, stay but respect their space, keep the professional communication, don't text them beyond certain times, like keep it professional, keep it neat. When you give that impression to this person, they will probably open up, or you can open up channels for, can we meet and talk over this? Or when they have an event they're organizing, they can always call you to come and be part of it. So I think networking should not just end on social media. Yes. For it to work, we need to find a way of taking it out of the social media zone, okay? How can we have a conversation that leads us to, can we meet, or which events can we attend together, okay? But also, we also must appreciate that social media does not only limit us to people in Uganda. Yeah. So there will be times where you will reach out to people on social media who are outside your country. So don't shun away from networking through digital platforms because you fear that you will never meet these people. Some of the greatest networks, some of the biggest enterprises have been formed by people who probably never met in the first 2 years of these conversations. So either way, I think social media gives us a very bright opportunity, which I think young people can embrace, remodel themselves, and paint the picture that they want to be known as. That way they will attract the networks that are relevant to their career or personal growth journeys.
Oh, that has been good. Actually, this reminds me of the different people whom I used to meet in social media. Yeah. And some of them, like if I want some help, let me say like the advice which I want to develop my career in, I also contact them and be like, I'm basing in this field, so can you guide me in some of the things which I want to grow in my career path? Yeah. And they'll be like, as per now, maybe I can support you in this and give you some ideas. Yeah. This is what you're supposed to follow and this is what you're not supposed to do. Yeah. And actually this reminds me of a lot of things concerning media platform. Yeah. That's why I encourage most of our audience, especially the young people, to base on media platforms. Because when it comes to face-to-face interaction, sometimes you may approach the person physically. The person may not give you all the information you want at that particular time. Then also some of them are biased. they can decide to determine you by the way you approach them. It can be on your dress code or appearance. Yeah, because there is a way people judge people differently.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Then also another thing, how do you measure successful networking, and what are some of the tips which you use to measure its effectiveness?
For me, the success of a networking opportunity does not merely end in getting a job. If you're a younger person, it is in how are you able to further this conversation. We are not just networking for the sake of increasing status viewers. We are not just networking for the sake of having 1,000+ contacts in our contact list. Professional networking is about developing your career ambitions, your personal life. It is about improving something about yourself. It is about you implementing something that you think is relevant. If you're passionate about social justice, how can this network enable you implement whatever you think you believe in? So I think that is the measure of success when I am looking at professional networking. So how does it end? Will it end in something that adds to my career? Will it end to something that adds to my dreams? Sometimes it's not your dreams. It's not a dream that is implemented by you. But say you love children, you love children's justice, you go and meet someone who is very passionate in that field. You might not be the one implementing that project, but will it cause a certain change in society? For me, that's how I look at the end of all relationships. I think all associations or relationships must end in a certain benefit to the wider community. It's not just about me, Ruth Chitamirika, getting a job in the UN. So I think it's bigger. Can they recommend you? Can you work on something together? I don't know if we still have time, but I remembered an experience I recently had. Okay. So there is an amazing woman in this country, and she does amazing things. I see her generosity. She is ED of a certain an international NGO, and she does walks with different people. So I always admired her, but every time we met at physical events, because I'm usually held back, she is top there. I am like, how do I approach her? Yes. So that is where social media came in. One time I gathered myself together, I sent her a message on LinkedIn. Yes. And she accepted. So our conversations led to a physical meeting. So for the first time, I meet her, and together now we are doing something. Currently, because I'm in school, so every week I make sure I work with at least one person, and I'm working with them not because it was my idea, but I saw someone do it, and because I admire a lot of things from this person. I found that carrying on her vision, carrying on her heart for talking and letting people, for mental health and physical fitness, but also giving people an opportunity to speak, would in a way make our relationship work. So I didn't get a job in this, but together we are still working on something that is for the bigger job, for the bigger good. So for me, I think that is my measure of what successful networking looks like.
Okay. You also talked of something that you're still studying. So how did you manage to balance the books? Then this side there's also work. How do you really manage those two things?
The two things.
To see that they move successfully the way you expect it to be.
Things work.
So could you share with me some of the tips which you use so that I can also apply it in my daily life?
The thing I usually tell my friends is that we live in a very competitive age. Yes. With the times we are in are very competitive. Everyone has a degree like you do. Everyone speaks English like you do. And yet the opportunities seem to be limited. But also we live in an interesting time because many things are coming up, and as young people we have an opportunity to churn out the future as we would like to see it. Yes. So we shall not be young forever. Okay. Vijana will not work with us forever. Once we are out of the bracket of youth, Vijana will push us away. So I think one is embrace your moment. There is, I don't know which language or Latin, it seize the moment. It's carpe diem. Like seize the opportunity you have. By the way, the human brain is interesting. It will work, it will serve you to the extent that you stretch it. So don't pity yourself too much. It's possible to study and work. We have seen people do it, and they have mothers, and they have many things. So set your priorities right. Set your social engagements right. You don't have to go to every social event, but go to those that you think add to your career, to your personal life. Plan out your time. It's important that you schedule your time. It's important that you schedule everything you are doing, because that you will realize that there is so much you can do in the 24 hours. Many of us are sleeping for 8 hours, and then during the day, the rest of the 12 hours, you have about 4 hours that are wasted in, let me take a nap, let me be on social media. So you realize there is a lot we can do in the 24 hours, and most adult study is not that you're going to study every day. So there is a way to do it. One thing you should have at the back of your mind is we live in a very competitive age, and we must do whatever it can to make sure we come out on top. We have no option but to do that. But also, you have one life to do the many things you want to do. You will not be young forever. So it's better you do most of these things when you still have the energy, because it's possible.
Okay, that's nice. I think it's good for us to utilize all the resources which are available so that we can see ourselves being successful in future. And also, what advice can you give to individuals who are having challenges in networking, and what strategy can they follow to see that they overcome all those challenges amidst their way?
Okay, that's a big question. Challenges are many. Some are shy, some are not confident, others fear that older people will chase them, many challenges. But I think one thing that could work for all of us is build your personal brand. Okay? Get time and sit with yourself. Find out who you are, what you want to do, what kind of career do you want to have, what kind of life would you want to have. When you do that, you will then figure the kinds of people you need in your life, the kinds of people you need on your journey to becoming the person you want to be. When you do that, you will carry a bit more intentionality every time you go out for an event, because you understand that I need this kind of person on my career journey. I don't have to waste any moment if I have to meet them, okay? It might be hard, you might be shy. I've just shared with you the lady I used to admire. I had very many opportunities to meet her, but I felt shy until this one day when I sent in a LinkedIn message. So I used social media. So embrace that opportunity, because build your brand, be convinced about who you are and where you want to go. You will understand the people you need on your path and the kinds of networks you need to build. So do that. So and just be disciplined, be humble in the presence of people, especially if you know that someone knows something a bit more than you do. Just humble yourself and give them a listening ear, but also let the relations be respectful, okay? Because you can only sustain relations as much as you are respecting them. Understand people and know when you have, learn not to cross certain limits with them, especially if you are in the professional networking spaces. I think professional networking is a bit slippery. It's not the social. Although sometimes, many times, I've seen professional networks grow and become social relations, which is a very beautiful thing. But if you are still not sure which path to tread with this person, the new connection you have built, keep it professional, please.
That's nice to hear. I think for all of us, let me say, like the people who want to develop in their career paths, it's good for them to be exposed to different people and network with them, because the result of that one comes that you get new skills which you feel like you have to attain in your life.
Yeah.
And also you get exposed to different people.
Yeah.
And when you're exposed to different people, that's the more opportunity you get.
Exactly.
And when you get those opportunities, that is the success to your life.
Yeah.
I think that has been nice. I'll copy.
That's
I think
true.
I have to move with that trick and I should apply it in my daily life.
Yeah.
I network with different people from different areas, different regions, because it will help me.
It does.
Yeah.
It makes you a better person.
Yes, that's nice. And to our viewers, if you have any question, feel free to leave it in the comment section and it will be responded to by our dear guest, Miss Ruth. Thank you so much, Ruth, for the great time you're giving us. We have been able to learn a lot of things from you.
Thank you.
And I think we shall keep in touch as we network.
Yeah.
Therefore, do you have any last word which you can leave for our audience so that they can use it?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for this conversation. I encourage everyone out there, please network. It's important, both for your professional, for your career, and for your personal life, okay? Yes. So go out there, meet new people, but follow up those conversations. Don't just have phone numbers in your phone list. No, like make an effort to reach out to them, but also see how these networks can end into a bigger good, not just you getting a job. I thank you so much, Vijana Co, for inviting me and for loving young people and for the investments you are doing in the young people of this country. Thank you so much.
Feel free to connect with different people, because the more you connect to different people in different sectors, the more knowledge you get, and it helps you to shape your life, because you can apply it in your career growth. And also when you network with different people from different nations, let me say like in outside countries, there are a lot of opportunities you get as an individual, because you apply those knowledge which you've used to different fields, and you also use it in your daily life. So it's always a good practice for each and every individual to use that knowledge the way it is, because what I know, the knowledge has been of more use to us, so we shall apply it in our life as individuals. I remain Sylvia as your host for today. Thank you so much. Until we meet again. Bye.